The coronavirus is the biggest threat this country has faced for decades, and this country is not alone. The time has now come for us all to do more. From this evening, I must give the British people a very simple instruction. You must stay at home, because the critical thing you must do to stop the disease spreading between households.
It was surreal. It was an out-of-body experience moment.
Initial response was shock.
It was very confusing, something of course we never expected to happen.
This can't really happen because it's so unprecedented. You just wouldn't expect something like that.
It just took a while for it to sink in.
There was a lot of fear, a lot of unanswered questions. People didn't know, they didn't have the instructions, they didn't know what to follow. And that is where the fear came from.
The Race Equality Network is an umbrella organisation based in Bradford that supports ethnic minority communities living in Bradford and District. We have recently been funded by Bradford Council to deliver the COVID prevention project. The aim of the project is to support communities with key information around COVID in lots of different languages and through different platforms such as social media, WhatsApp video messages and leaflets. We work in partnership with the COVID Response Hub to send our volunteers out with them to do warm-up engagement activities through door-to-door knocking to dispel myths and conspiracy theories around COVID-19. They are offered a home testing kit and are encouraged to take up testing as and when required.
My name's Shadim Hussain, I'm one of the board members at the Bradford Foundation Trust. During the COVID pandemic, our organisation has been very active. Historically, we've always supported refugees and asylum seekers, so we played a big part in distributing food across the city, helping with communications, translating messages. We obviously work closely with the Race Equality Network to reach minority communities and translate public health messages into other languages.
My name is Shagufta and I work for QAD Foundation, which stands for Quest for Economical Development. During the pandemic, we've done lots of positive things for our local community, which has been appreciated much to bring positivity during dark times in the COVID-19 pandemic. We've done a befriending project where staff have been calling all our learners to make sure that how they're coping with COVID-19. We made this COVID-19 survival pack, which explains briefly what coronavirus is and preventions that they can do, steps they can do, a little bit about health, a few puzzles, a word search, just to keep positivity in their lives.
We've been supporting the community with everything throughout this pandemic, from shopping for the elderly. We are an educational charity, so our focus is always education, so we moved all our mentoring and tutoring and everything online, including our women's group, men's group. We've got a very active Girls Got a Ride cycling group that wasn't able to meet, but we've been able to meet remotely and do exercises at home.
We went out into the community, into areas that are populated by European Roma people. We went out to the community to give the right information, keep the community up to date.
For Muslim Women's Council, we've been lucky to be able to help as many people as we can from the community. We've been able to, through the helpline, distribute nearly 8,500 hot meals to individuals and families across the Bradford district through the helpline.
We've got a COVID-19 helpline that we operate, where we give the opportunity for the Roma people to ring us, ask any questions that they've got about the COVID-19, about the vaccine, about self-isolation, and we do offer to book the tests on the telephone as well.
Because we sprung into action so quickly in the beginning of the year, last year, we've developed a lot of projects which have helped engage with the communities and basically trying to help them out, and especially the hard-to-reach communities. Contacting people within the South Asian or the BAME community and making calls on a regular basis to find out if people 55 plus were actually okay in their households because of shielding.
We're a mental health organisation supporting women, South Asian women, so it has been a really difficult time trying to arrange virtual groups and virtual one-to-ones, and then we noticed that there was a demand for food packages and hygiene packs, especially for the vulnerable families, so that was another kind of job that we had. So contacting businesses and charities to get donations, whether it were vouchers, whether it was actual food donations, and then getting them out there.
We've done some really positive stuff actually. I've been really excited about the work that we've done in spite of everything, connecting with communities, working with some of those groups that were harder to reach, and certainly connecting with the African Caribbean elders. That's been a really positive thing. And certainly with the Eastern European, particularly Roma communities as well, that's been really positive, making some really good links with those individuals and actually providing a really good support mechanism for people. That's been fantastic.
Because the communities we work with, often literacy is an issue, so we can't really talk about having information that's just internet based or using technologies such as Zoom. What we've had to do is to quickly adapt to creating animated videos, if you like, where there's an image, there's a video for people to look at, there's some text for those that can read in their own language. Not everybody can, and so we've had audio over the text as well, so you're actually getting a combination of audio, text and an image.
We are thankful to REN for their grant. We have opened a Zoom account, and every week we have a program on Zoom which helps our members to join us from home. They can virtually visit our temple. They can also talk with our priest. This is very helpful, and this is very good for their well-being, their spiritual and health.
Initially, when the information was coming out from the government, was all in English, and the community wasn't really benefiting. They didn't know what social distancing and isolation really meant. So we produced, using local faces from the community, a video in Bangla on how to isolate, on what to do, who to ring, where to get information from.
Our achievements during lockdown would be that we kept our doors open throughout. We continued many of our services via Zoom. For example, our coffee morning, healthy eating, social club for the elderly were all provided via Zoom.
Hi, we're Two T-Shirt Gang, and we are a functional health, fitness and wellbeing organisation, and our slogan is improvement, not perfection.
So the challenge for us for the past year has been to keep our online work and keep our youth active in relation the work that we've been delivering. Overall, I really think it's been important that we keep our youth active. Obviously, in these prevalent times of COVID, as we know how it affects everyone in terms of adversity, but we just have to try and remain positive and just keep on the straight and narrow, and just, it is what it is sort of situation, and just keep moving with the times.
I think one thing that we are proud of is the people that were released from prison. We were able to help them, support them, and offer them guidance during the difficult time. As you can imagine, getting released from prison, there wasn't many statutory organisations that were able to support them, and being in the heart of the community, we were able to support these people that were released from prison.
We are also distributing some PPE kits, which consist of the hand sanitizer, wipes, face masks, and also we've been distributing leaflets regarding information on COVID-19. This is quite helpful for them.
NAFS provides a large variety of classes, online classes, for the community basically. Anybody that can log on will log on, and there is people to talk to. They're providing an awful lot of assistance to families that really do need that assistance. And it's with things that actually really do count as important factors for them, such as the hot meals. They're providing over 150 per day So to be able to provide meals like that is wonderful.
Women's Zone it's obviously been a difficult year for everyone, but Women's Zone has been really fluid in terms of like how we've I suppose readjusted to what the communities really need at the moment. So one of those things is becoming a food and clothing bank, whereas before we had like the women's gym and other things going on at the centre which we had to stop doing. So yeah, that's been really good because at least we're actually listening to the community and seeing what they actually need.
We've been helping and supporting families with food parcels, other crisis support such as helping women overcome some of the DV issues, ensuring that they got the specialist and the help that they needed, and also with a lot of vulnerable families because lots of people lost their jobs, lost their income, and they were struggling financially. So we provided food parcels for the families, as well as lots of engagement through conversations, and also working with other organisations and ensuring that there was a wraparound service for those families and ensuring that they got the right support.
I think one of the greatest things Two T-Shirt Gang has done over this period is keeping the youth engaged and offering a well-needed service throughout COVID-19. Our youth have shown much resilience to stick with us online throughout lockdowns, and when lockdown got lifted, to be back with us, and their engagement and attainment has just been excellent. So I would just like to shout out our youth as well for making us look good. Yeah, let's just say, and just, you know, investing in themselves as well. So it was really good to see.
My name is Nigel Guy. I'm from Windrush Generations UK. We're based in Bradford, but we're on a national and international context. What we've been doing over the last year has been providing provisions and services to people who are locked in, isolated and vulnerable, elders and families. And what we've been doing, we've brought a hope of light to people who have been struggling in the period of coronavirus and the pandemic. And we've been an organisation of 25 plus volunteers who are weekly helping people to feel the positivity and that there's hope in the country, in Bradford, for us to actually do better things.
So firstly, we open a telephone helpline for Arabic to allow people in Arabic community understand what the government guidelines is.
There was a lot of fake news out there, you know, on social media, and it was impacting the thought process of a lot of people within the community. So we took a stand, and it was basically getting the correct information out there, and had doorstep conversations trying to get people tested and asking them as to why they were not getting tested or why did they not want the vaccine. So what we wanted to do was give them enough information that they could make an informed choice.
We provided weekly COVID messages through social media, and we closely work with REN. And we continue to offer food parcels to school children and to vulnerable by us going to them rather than the service users coming to us.
We distribute some face mask and hand sanitizer to all Arab community, and we continue doing this.
COVID has been challenging for our whole community and for the Sangha Centre to keep running and maintaining our services. And the biggest lesson that we've learned is that you have to work together, you have to pull together, and you have to look out for each other. And that's the way you will get through this. And I think it's been admirable the way our community has done that.
Well, what I'm looking forward to moving forward post COVID is for us to see family.
People have been in isolation, so the opportunity to pull people together in some arenas, I'm really looking forward to that.
It's going to be really exciting for us because we'll be able to reopen the women's gym, and we've got a new play gym that we've got in partnership with Better Start Bradford.
We do want to host some cultural events. We've got some really good traditions that we would like to share with the wider community.
That face-to-face and bringing it back home will be really good for the women, I think, and the well-being.
I mean, we're really looking forward to seeing our service users again. And even our service users, they want to see us.
Obviously, we are here serve the community, and if we can't serve the community, then we need to be able to find a way that we can reach them. They're not hard to reach, it's just finding a way of getting to them basically.
The hopes for the future is to continue our work that we're doing, obviously with the youth and our clients, etc., but to keep on building on top of what we've already got in place.
The work that has started with all the organisations that are working together in partnership and the relationships that have been forged, I think we need to continue working with those organisations and not work in silence once all this pandemic is over.
I think people are looking forward to seeing their families and friends.
On a personal level, I'm looking forward to being able to, access some of the live events that we used to put on, like, the Black Scientist Fair, British Science Week, things like that.
The thing that I'm most looking forward to is just being able to see everybody again face to face. I think that's through work and personally.
On a personal level, I think friends know that I've been sort of trying to get through a PhD. I'm in my last stages of getting it written up. I just can't wait to get that done, so that'll hopefully be this summer.
Moving forward, we're very optimistic about the future and we're going to beat this.
Thank you.